What's up? Welcome into Hook and Batter episode 14.
You nailed it.
Okay. That is not Andrew on my left. It could be, but it's not. Yeah. We have a producer Wang fill in for the day as Andrew can't be with us tonight.
He's got some stuff going on.
Screw that guy.
Yeah.
We'll just make it really morbid.
Yeah.
And, we hope he's back with us next week.
Yeah, we do.
He's going through a tough time.
He won't be chiming in at all this episode.
And this is not his house that we're using.
That's right.
Nope. Anyway, so it's gonna be an all football show mostly. Since a lot of stuff has ended and the winter sports are just getting going, but I'll touch a little basketball. Let's just do it. The Clippers haven't won a game since James Harden got traded. Just saying.
Yeah.
He is the system, apparent according to him.
It's not good.
it's just a little funny.
Andrew called it, right?
No, Andrew was all for it. I said
You
that.
called it.
Now look, it's a way too long of a season, so they'll
Yeah.
probably get it figured out. But it's just a little comical to see that they haven't won a single game.
It's true.
Maybe they shouldn't have done it. Maybe they shouldn't have done it.
I don't know. I want it to work out because I love. There'll always be a part of me that loves James Harden, but
I used to feel bad for him because he was. I was sad that he was saying like I thought I was always just gonna be the sixth man of the Thunder, and I was like, that's cool. But then he became this guy that just never wants to stick around anywhere. So I have no love lost when they don't do well.
that's fair. He's getting up there too. Jokic was drafted in 2013.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
That's right.
Wow, that's
Well,
terrible.
what was he, like 150 something?
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
Like 123? I don't know.
Like what pick he was?
Yeah.
42.
Yeah,
Oh, 42?
it was like
I
the
thought it was
second
like
round. It was super
100s
late.
or something.
It was 42.
I think it was 40. Right.
I saw one that was like 59. I was like, wow.
It was late enough in the second round where they were showing commercials instead of showing the draft pick. So
Which they should never do, by the way.
there
are
does
six
suck.
picks.
Yeah.
Show all of them. I don't know.
41st.
Wow, you're close.
So close.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that about the NBA though. Like James Harden, like we say he's getting up there, but he's like 33. It's not that old, but it feels like
but
these guys they get drafted so early and they're studs for like 15 years. Or
Yeah.
something,
You're just gonna keep getting younger guys in there, like
Yeah.
especially if they ever bring back. You can go straight to the NBA out of high school, which I feel like they're gonna do. But
You'd think they would. Like they're getting paid now, right? College basketball players get paid,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Mhm.
So
yeah, like
keep it around.
there's a lot of guys, or not a lot, but there's definitely more guys that are sticking around in college basketball this year because instead of just being a second round pick that really never pans out, they just stay in college next year and get paid like $500K and get their degree and enjoy college basketball, which is actually making the product a lot more fun.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot more guys that are like a Tyson Walker at Michigan State that probably would have been drafted 41st, but he sticks around, and I mean Michigan State is 1 and 2, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that is cool, but I think like you got like Cooper Flag next year, like as more and more of these superstars, high school players. Not that it hasn't been happening, but I think they're just gonna end up repealing the rule because so many guys are going to the G League now anyway, and
yeah.
Overseas?
overseas, and skipping college as it is. So the NBA probably would rather just have them in the league. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll see from there. Okay, now it'll be an all football show. Let's start with the college ranks, and I think we'll start outside of the scope of the games. But I think we have to start with the hardball suspension, which is such a BS suspension. But
I'm with you. I thought the same thing.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense. You're not punching him at all.
No.
in my opinion. Like
He's
you're
with
not-
the team all week.
Yeah, exactly. Like his impact is a little overrated on the field.
Yeah.
But by then all of what they're doing is done. It's on the players basically.
Yep.
Besides like game management and stuff. Calling timeouts and stuff like that. But no,
Which-
I thought it was soft. I thought they should just suspended him for the rest of the year.
Or just don't. Or just say the
Yeah.
investigation's taking.
Right. And we'll in the offseason we'll declare make a decision.
I feel like they do that with like players, right?
Yeah, it's just like
and then they just decide to suspend them.
yeah, it's like not quite this bad, but it's like the Ray Rice thing. Where they were just like, yeah, here's 2 games, and then they were like, oh, just kidding.
You can tell they're definitely trying to save face, but
Yeah.
also keep Michigan in the loop. Like
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I thought it was super soft. And then Michigan players are acting like it was okay,
Said that.
fine. I see how it is. You know, it's like wait, it's not even that bad. Like I didn't see it as so egregious.
They are the Cincinnati Bengals. They are just creating false narratives and putting a chip on their shoulder for no reason.
Absolutely. When they got a break,
yeah,
got a break.
right.
This could have been way worse.
Yep. They could be banned from everything.
Yeah.
But the Big Ten, just 3 games, not be on the sideline.
Yeah.
I guess the Big Ten's stupid because wouldn't you want him on the sideline against Ohio State?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that be more impactful to your brand?
Yeah. I guess what they're thinking is, so who suspended him? It was the Big Ten?
Yeah,
Suspended
it's
him?
not an NCAA suspension.
I guess their thinking is, okay, they make it into the playoff. That's bigger press for us. That's a better, Or if Ohio State beats them, that's also good press for us because, like, Ohio State is like the white knight in the situation. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
But either way, not that less people are going to watch the game, but, like, wouldn't it be better if you had Harbaugh on the sideline freaking out? Like, like, you get more clicks, I feel like, that way.
Right.
Whereas, like, you get maybe they're thinking that the committee would be like, well, they didn't have Harbaugh, but I don't think that's going to be the case at all. So, I don't know. It's just super soft.
Yeah, I thought it was soft.
They could have done nothing and no one would have said anything. It's whatever. I guess we'll see what happens. But it's they beat Penn State last week without him. Penn State might be very bad in the terms of, like, they're going to win 10 games but not beat a soul.
Yeah.
Michigan plays Maryland this week. I need to stop betting on Maryland football.
What's the spread on that?
I think it's 19. I'm gonna take Maryland.
They won last week.
Yeah, they won a football game that was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I'll always root for Maryland, but I was kind of rooting for Nebraska to make this, like, crazy run from, like, where they started to make the Big Ten championship because that was in their path.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not necessarily. So I don't know. Probably take Maryland again because Michigan's got Ohio State the next week. Like, they're gonna want
to look ahead.
I love look ahead.
Ben loves the look ahead.
But yeah, it's just I don't get it. We'll see. The NCAA is still probably gonna come out with suspension in the offseason. But
do you think it affects him in college? Like, the initial reaction was like, he might go to the NFL now. He's suspended. Like, if Michigan loses to Ohio State, do you think that has any impact on what he does?
I think he'd be more likely to go to the NFL if he wins the championship.
That's fair.
If he's like, finally, I did it, I'm out. Like, you can't say anything about me. I fulfilled my promises essentially. Like, if he goes to the playoff, it'll be like I beat Ohio State 3 years straight, won a national championship. I've done everything I need to do here. Peace. I'm gonna go coach the Bears.
Yeah.
He played for the Bears. Makes sense.
He wasn't a bad NFL coach.
Yeah, I mean,
he was never. Yeah.
I think
it got hard, and so he left.
I think his shtick runs out. Like, I think there's a shtick that college coaches have where, like, you see college basketball happens the same way. Like, they try to go to the NBA, and it's like you're not coaching 18 and 19-year-olds anymore. And so you got to kind of treat them differently. So after, like, 3 years at San Francisco, I think the players were like, I'm done with this. Like, stop treating me like this. Yeah. And so he was like, okay, I'll go back to college. But I think he wants to come back to the NFL. Mm-hmm. It seems like. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Other big news was that Jimbo Fisher was fired from Texas A&M. He's getting paid $1 bajillion to not coach football. It's boosters are hysterical to me. Like, college boosters are so funny because they're paying so much money because they're mad at the coach. And they're like, get him out of here. We will give you $75 million to not have this guy here anymore.
Yeah, which is, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Jimbo Fisher was great at Texas A&M, but, like, are they really going to find someone, like, that much better?
That's
and also for Jimbo Fisher, why did he leave Florida State in the first place?
I have no idea.
I don't understand why college coaches do that.
Probably because he got this contract that was crazy, and they were like, yeah, we can buy you out, and you don't have to prove it. We'll just give you all. He was probably like, okay, great.
Yeah. I already won a title. So.
Yeah. Texas A&M's kind of got to realize, like, they're not Alabama, Georgia, or LSU, really. So, like, you are who you are. If you win 9 or 10 games, like, that's a great season.
Yeah.
But whatever. They were tired of him. They paid a bunch of money to get him out of there. He gone. If you're him, I don't know why you would coach for the next 5 years. I think he's making like $90 million to not do anything. But
I don't know.
crazy, just insane. Speaking of Penn State, like going back to them, do you think James Franklin should be gone? Or they just like he can't beat anybody good, but he's gonna win 10 games.
Right, exactly. But he doesn't beat the games that matters, which are Ohio State and Michigan.
Right.
You know, but I don't know because like Paterno wasn't very good his last couple of years.
No,
and I mean, there's some sort of consistency that gets you there, you know.
Mhm.
And they've had good recruits, they've had good players. It's just I also think what doesn't help them is the structure of the Big Ten.
yeah,
You know, because they're all being in the same division. It's like, okay, well, if you don't beat them, your season is totally lost. But
Yeah.
he should be held accountable because it's been so many times now. I mean, I'd love to see his combined record against Ohio State and Michigan.
I don't think he's beaten.
He's been there for what, like 5-6 years now?
Yeah.
Because what they had the Stanford. No, they had Bill O'Brien. He's been there since Bill O'Brien left, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And Bill O'Brien left in like 2013, 2014. I think.
I'm trying to think.
I'll take a look.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think a little more. Here's the thing about them. It's the same thing every year. Their offense is terrible,
Yep.
god awful. Even with Saquon Barkley, it was
Yeah.
very mid. And then they just and their defense is great.
Yeah.
So
They thought Drew Aller was going to be the savior, but
yeah.
he's not it.
Who was the one guy who went to the Jets? Who's the
Chris
quarterback?
Hackenberger?
Yes.
Dude, I
God.
loved him.
They thought he was going to be like the savior too.
Man, I thought he was legit.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah. since 2014, he's been.
Look up his record. Maybe he's beaten him once.
I guess.
I mean, seriously, I don't think you're wrong. I
I'll
think it's
go.
been like
I'll go
once or-
3 times.
Yeah.
I don't like. I remember because they play Ohio State tough normally, and I remember the one year they returned the opening kickoff, and I thought they were going to win, and they ended up losing by like 2 or 3. So I don't know if they have one because I don't know that they've won 11 games in the last 7 years.
Yeah,
And that would mean you would have to beat one of them to get to 11 wins. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Maybe.
I'm trying. It's not going well.
We can come back to it.
1-9 against
Wow.
the Buckeyes,
Okay. So,
and
they have,
so I don't see one.
I think that was Saquon that returned that touchdown. Now that I think about it.
3-7 against Michigan.
Oh wow, that's better than
That
it's
is
not
better than I
good,
thought
but
it
better
was.
than I
Not
thought.
good. But so that's a combined.
I guess
4
Michigan
and
wasn't.
16.
I guess Michigan
Wow.
wasn't very good until like.
Yeah, Michigan. Well, that's kind of going back to what you were saying about Jim Harbaugh. Like, if you wanted a ring, that'd be it. There was a while he was on the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like before last season, it was like if you don't go to the playoff, you're done. I feel like.
I think if he didn't beat Ohio State 2 years ago,
Yeah.
it was over.
Mhm.
Maybe that's why they started cheating. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Stealing signs.
We gotta keep beating them. Yeah, I don't know. That's it's hard to defend 4-16. Maybe you should go.
It's
But-
just, but yeah, but
it's hard to get there in the first place, though.
It's-
And it's not like anybody else in the Big Ten has been doing well.
right.
Like Wisconsin, Michigan State, they've been dropping the ball. They used to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin will get back. I like Fickle,
Mhm.
but yeah, Michigan State. This is an absolute mess.
Like you said with Nebraska, Matt Rule was there. Maybe they built.
Looks like he's doing okay, but yeah, like, but they're also next year Penn State's going to go 10-2. They'll be in the playoff. So there's something to be said about that.
Right. So you
Like,
probably
I don't
should-
know.
Yeah, it's tough.
But
hang on to him.
I guess give
One
him
more
one
year.
chance, see what he
Yeah.
does. But yeah, one more chance. We'll see. It's a tough spot to be in. Well, and we'll also see, I guess, with realignment, we'll see who they play next year and like how they format the divisions and all
True.
that kind of stuff.
They should just scrap the division.
I would.
I
would
think every
so.
conference, SEC, Big Ten, and the ACC should just scrap them.
Yeah.
And then best record. You have to,
Yeah.
unless you make 4 divisions. I mean, there's 16 teams in all the
Yeah.
conferences.
That'd actually be sick.
That'd be
though.
kind of cool.
And then you play a mini playoff in your own
Oh,
conference.
that'd be
Oh.
badass. I like that.
that one's for free, Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington one, and then yeah. All right.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
They created their own division. by
Yeah.
coming over. Wow.
There you go.
We should join the committee.
We are so much smarter than them.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have suspended Harbaugh.
No,
That's
we
right.
wouldn't. We would have made them so much money.
Oh lordy. Elsewhere, I mean, not the chaos that we were hoping would happen last week didn't.
Yeah.
So not much to really expand on from last week, but Georgia is the new number 1 in the playoff rankings, which I guess makes sense. They beat a top 10 team. They smashed Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So Georgia looks like Georgia again, which sucks.
I think I was thinking about it because we had an exercise last week. Like, how does Georgia get in?
Yeah,
Or how does Georgia get out?
yeah.
And I think at this point, they're in.
They go to Tennessee this week.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but
It could.
it could. The SEC championship is locked in. It will be Georgia versus Bama, which I don't know how that'll play out. But.
Yeah. Never mind.
It might be for a spot in the playoff, or they might both go. If
Oh,
win.
that's so annoying.
Alabama's been really good.
Alabama has been good.
So
they're really good.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I think everything else stayed the same. Washington stays at 5. Oregon stays at 6.
Props to Utah. Utah tried.
Yeah.
Utah.
Their offense kind of showed up a little bit.
How are we still fumbling the ball before the end zone?
That's true. I don't know.
I think if trends say anything, I think Washington loses this week.
Washington, there is no shot that they don't. Yeah, they should lose.
Like based off the last couple of weeks, they're starting to trend in the wrong direction. Now you got to go to Corvallis and play Oregon State,
right? Who looks great,
and they are awesome at home.
Yeah.
The trends would say this is the week that it happens, but maybe Washington steps up and proves it. But I tend to think Oregon State's gonna take it out from under them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and the fumble kind of helped in a way. Like they would have wanted the touchdown, obviously, but then they get the safety and they get the ball back. Like kind of was helpful.
Yeah,
which is funny, but I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington, Oregon State this week. That's really
that's like the game.
Yeah.
I think this week. Other than that, Georgia and Tennessee. It's actually weak.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of teams are just playing fluff games before rivalry week, like next week, like which sucks. But
is that a primetime game? Like 7:30.
I can't remember. I think so. Yeah. I think Georgia Tennessee is like 3:30, and then I think that game's later. The only other thing I had to talk about with college football was that Quinn Ewers says he's 90% staying at Texas for next year.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
But also, well, I guess it is a really strong QB year, so that could be the case. But also, what does that mean for Arch? Like he's not sitting again.
Does he leave?
He could.
You would think, right?
But to where?
Well, his recruitment would open back up. I think Ole Miss had a strong shot at first.
Do you think they pushed him out? You think Texas was like, go to the portal?
I don't.
I think he could just be saying that to market himself for other teams, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think Texas would want him to leave. I think they would want.
You think they'd play him?
No, but they would just be like,
they would bench Art.
Sit behind Quinn another year. Like you'll be our starter, and then you'll go to the NFL. But I don't think he'd want to.
Is he good?
I don't know.
Yeah. He's highly recruited.
I mean, very much so.
Yeah.
I don't know. He also came to Texas early,
right?
So he's younger. So that plays a factor in like how much he's probably developed a ton since he played in the spring. Yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting when I saw the headline. Maybe it's all just smoke and mirrors, just Quinn Ewers trying to get his name out there type thing. But
yeah,
I found that interesting. Just,
I mean, he probably should come back.
I guess.
If they're going to be good again, they're probably going to be title contending.
Yeah,
they're not done. They had a close game this weekend.
They keep beating teams barely and sticking around, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have lost to Kansas State and didn't.
Yeah.
This game, the score is a little closer than it actually was. I think they were up. I think they were up like 20. Gave up 2 touchdowns late. But yeah, they're not super impressive, but they only have 1 loss, so
they beat Bama.
They beat Bama, so they're alive.
Yeah.
They're alive. But I found that interesting. I would be interested to see if Arch would stick around to sit on the bench for another year. And also the backup at Texas that started the games. I can't even remember his name, but started while Quinn was hurt this year. Would he stick around, or I'd imagine he'd want to go be a starter somewhere. But I guess that's for the offseason. I saw that report and I was kind of confused by it. But other than that, I don't really have much else in the college football realm.
Yeah, it's nothing happened. That's why I don't really have much on.
Yeah. Rivalry week next week will be awesome. Plus, you get Black Friday games. I know there's an NFL game, which like the NFL should stay in their own lane sometimes. Like it'd be nice for I like to have the Egg Bowl is played which is Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That's played every year on Friday night of Black Friday. Like, it's nice to have those traditions. And, like, I already got way too much going on with Feast Week in college basketball to pay attention to the NFL. So
they could have been Saturday. I like that better.
Yeah.
You know, like having some Saturday games.
Yeah. So
because you have so many college football games going on that, like,
I feel like I'm so used to like the Thursday night and then having a break and then going back Sunday and Monday. I don't know.
But no, and it's the Jets. I'm tired of watching the Jets.
Yeah, man. Like, that's the other thing. Can the they haven't flexed any games.
They can't flex that one because it's the Black Friday. Amazon paid a lot.
Well,
of money
they thought
for
it was Rodgers. They thought it'd be Rodgers.
Yeah. No, the game made a lot of sense to put there. Dolphins Jets, but it sucks now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should start flexing some Sunday and Monday night games.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not. Oh wait, big market teams. That's why. It's annoying.
That's right.
This week we got good primetime games, but
I actually don't know the Sunday night game. Can I guess? Hold on.
I was about to say.
You're about to say it.
Oh wait, no.
Eagles Chiefs. Right?
That's Monday.
It's
Monday.
Yeah,
that's right. Bills. No.
I actually don't remember who's Sunday night now.
Yeah, I was thinking Chiefs.
That's definitely Monday.
That's Monday. That's gonna be the biggest game of maybe year.
Did you see the big news?
Deshaun Watson.
No, I'm talking Taylor Swift's parents and Travis Kelce parents are going to meet at that game.
Oh,
just saw
they're
that.
gonna ride that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all year. I still love it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, apparently they've been digging up some Travis Kelce tweets like this past week, and
Really?
it's all like, oh, he's a good guy.
Oh,
It's like
that's lame.
it was like a string of tweets of him saying like nap time or something.
Did you say that's lame?
Yeah.
You were hoping they had some dirt on.
Yes. It's so much funnier when there's like when not racist or sexist comments, but it's just like, dude, I just caught a huge dub in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
like those are
true.
funnier than.
Man, I got wrecked last night.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, but
I
I was
don't
hoping
know.
you were going to say something.
Yeah, I
fun,
mean,
but-
Swifties approve, so
The Swifties, if they approve, the world revolves around the Swifties.
Apparently,
They are something else. It's crazy. I haven't seen the movie,
I haven't either.
but I'm gonna
are you?
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah,
It's like 3 hours.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I love long movies. Killers of the Flower Moon, great movie.
I
How many
saw
times
it
have you seen Dunkirk lately?
I haven't seen Dunkirk in a long time. I actually got to rewatch. I think it's on HBO.
Oh, is it?
Which I don't have anymore. Max. I'm sorry.
Did you get it right?
Yeah, I'll get it. Copyright credit. Did you tell him about the sweat, by the way?
No, I haven't. We're sweating the live over in the Miami, Ohio Buffalo game. It's 3-0.
Oh, they had 3. I thought it was still 0-0. That's fine. We'll take that.
We have over 28.5.
Yeah.
4 minutes left in the first half. It's
Is there a
very,
score?
very not good, but we need a touchdown.
Touchdown, field goal.
Come on!
Yeah.
Come on! Oh, God. That's a loss.
All
of
right,
yards.
I'm looking up the game too.
Oh my God!
No,
Sunday
I got it.
night,
that's
it's
right.
decent. I can't remember who it is. Because the Cowboys Vikings Broncos.
Oh,
All of a sudden is a decent game.
yeah, that's true.
I believe that's Sunday night. But Thursday night's great. We'll get to the NFL in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll do some halftime dough.
I think it's halftime dough time.
Let's do it.
Heard.
Yes, I made them again.
Were these from this one?
Yeah.
Some I actually don't know.
No.
Megan just picked them up though, so she just came from a conference in New Jersey. But yeah, they look good.
It's got a name.
I think they're strawberry. I think they're some kind of strawberry and vanilla,
That's
Okay.
what it looks like.
and something.
I
on
do
top.
like strawberry and vanilla, so
So I don't like strawberry. So sorry to whatever store this is from.
Okay, I think they're strawberry shortcake cupcakes. Yes,
makes- okay.
that's what it is.
That would make sense. All right.
Oh, that's good.
Yo.
oh, I'm digging these.
Yo. If you don't like it, you don't have to eat it.
It's all right.
That's really good.
Yeah.
All right, can we talk about something?
Yeah.
You know how the lead blocker, and I'm sorry, this is totally off topic. The lead blocker on the kickoff just caught the ball and ran it, right? Shouldn't they never do that?
But then you wouldn't have moments like that Patriots offensive line
like
running for like 60 yards.
Dan Connolly. I'll never forget. But like he should never be catching the ball. He should just be getting out of the way, and then the kicker, like you're telling me that kick returner isn't capable of running up 20 yards and catching it?
I think he should catch it, but he should pitch it.
Fair.
Because you could somehow lose the ball if you don't catch it. It becomes like an onside kick. So yeah, catch it and pitch it, and then block somebody. But also, I guess they don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this tastes like the ice cream bars.
Oh, this is solid.
Yeah. This is really good.
Like cream cheese.
I don't know.
And like strawberry shortcake dust on top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm not a huge fan of strawberry.
We can't do chocolate every week.
I understand. I get it. I'm not asking one to change for me.
This is really good.
I love this.
I'm surprised how much I liked it.
5-4.
Wow. Wasted no time.
I'm going to do, I don't know.
I'm going high.
I don't know. This is really good.
Wow.
The icing is killer on this thing, man. I don't know. My first instinct was 8.9.
Yeah. I was like 8.8, 8.9.
Yeah, mine's a 9 too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's his second highest ranking of the season. He really likes that. That's wild.
But yeah. Anywho, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Part of me is like, the Ravens stink. Like, because if he was really that hurt and he was just dicing us, that's rough. But the other part of me is like, I don't know. They just bodied us. So I'm not sure if that's all Deshaun
He
Watson.
was not like he was not that impressive.
It didn't seem like he was 14 of 14. It did not feel
like
that way.
anytime he threw, like in the first half, anytime he threw the ball outside the numbers or 20 yards down the field, I was like, there is a 0% chance that this is going to end up in somebody's arms.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was just way more about like they had our number, like kind of thing. Like the score was like not indicative of how the game went, and so like the Ravens are getting crucified for not closing a game out, which they should. But in the same time, if they probably should have lost that game like 31-14.
Yeah.
And it would just been like, okay, well that happens. Like sometimes you just don't bring it. Sometimes a team just gets your number, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bad matchup. So like, I don't know. On the Deshaun Watson side, like the Browns deserve all of this. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
Like I don't. It's the worst contract ever. I think he's owed like $60 million next year. As like his cap hit is like $60 million next year. He's gonna go through surgery on the shoulder. I guess he'll be healthier next year than he was this year, but like, I don't know.
I mean, it could mess his career up. You know,
You would think.
like, because nobody can really. They didn't say. They said shoulder, but it's like a bone in his shoulder that's messed up, and it's like, okay, that seems very weird. I don't know many players have had that same injury. So, but yeah, no, you're totally right. Cleveland, screw you. Not the fans, but the Browns.
Nah, screw them too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Maybe his shoulder just was too tired now that he has to help himself out and not getting enough massages.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
overused it.
yeah, man.
You know,
He's gonna get more.
yeah. He's gonna have to learn how to be left-handed. That's a tough scene.
Maybe the worst trade in NFL history.
Yeah.
It's looking like because they've gotten 3 above average games from him or something.
I think they only have 11 games total, something like that.
That's terrible, man.
And they've
That's awful.
paid a lot of money and assets for it.
Yeah, and the team's good. I mean, they're done, right? I mean, like if they get to the playoffs, they're going to be a wild card team, and they're going to bounce out to.
They're starting
team.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson this week.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. You liked him. He's your guy.
Oh, dude, I love him.
Yeah.
You never know what's coming. It's the greatest thing ever.
That's
He looked great in preseason.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
That's-
He's probably going to be better than his last start.
I did already bet the Steelers because I heard that he was starting. But yeah, I don't know. Like PJ Walker's not good, but like at least he kept them in games, I guess. But maybe DTR has a ceiling. What?
Andrew's guy is PJ Walker.
Yeah, well,
He loves
he's like
him some
been
PJ Walker.
very bad. I think he's 37th out of 37th in like all metrics of qualified starters. So
They beat the Colts with PJ Walker.
barely.
yeah. So the Steelers, are they better than the Browns? Do you know? Are they better?
No.
No.
The Steelers suck. They should have lost again.
Yeah.
Jordan Love threw like 4 interceptions in the fourth quarter, I think.
He did. No, he threw 2 to end the game.
Yeah.
In the fourth? Yeah. I don't know.
They suck. They got outgained again.
Yeah.
Which I know is very, like, elementary of how to look at a football game, and there's a lot that goes into that, but it's just more fun to say.
Yeah, you shouldn't be 6-3 when all games you've been outgained.
It's ridiculous.
And their offense doesn't look good. Like, we watched it. We watched that game happening. And we're like, okay. They've been running the ball a lot better now.
Jalen Warren did get named the starter.
Yes. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't get that for whatever.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett doesn't look good.
No. He does not.
He's got small hands.
He does.
But they're 6-3. And they're probably going to beat the Browns now this week. Get to 7-3, and then you're like, all right, you're probably going to make the playoffs at that point.
I think that game's going to be gross.
Probably be very gross.
Like 10-6.
Cleveland can definitely still win.
Yeah.
DTR will make a very dumb mistake, which is what I think will lose them the game, but maybe not.
The Watson news, I think it's really about like the fringe playoff teams. Like the Chargers are like very happy about it, and like the Broncos all of a sudden are like super happy about it.
Yeah, like all those teams, but the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. all of a sudden, we'll get to them. But yeah, they're definitely happy about that too. And I do think the Steelers, like long term, do look a little better than the Browns. They shouldn't be, but they are 6-3, and I trust them to beat a bad team more than Cleveland now.
That's
you
true.
know, which sucks because it shouldn't be like that.
No,
I mean it doesn't suck because Cleveland did it to themselves.
Yeah,
but
I don't know where Cleveland goes from here. I mean, you just have to hope.
You've got to keep playing him. I think the thing that stinks about them is you play him for every game you have him for, because you have to. You know, unless you draft a guy, which you're not going to be able to in 3 years.
Right.
I mean, it was dumb. It was insane. And the Texans already found their quarterback.
Yeah.
So look out for them. I mean, that's the other story this week, I feel like, is the Texans beating the Bengals. Like, for future, like, 3 years, they look like a dangerous team. And their division is soft. Yeah. Like, I know the Jags, they just got blown out. I don't think they're as bad as that game, but the Texans.
I mean, the Texans could make playoffs.
Yep. They're 5-4. Yeah. I mean, they did lose the Panthers 2 weeks ago.
They did. But then since then, Stroud's been amazing. Yeah. And that's without Nico Collins, who I'm not going to say is like a number one necessarily, but still it's a weapon that wasn't there. Mm-hmm. We talked about the Bengals being in a bit of a tricky spot. So like I wasn't super surprised when it happened. Yeah. But it was good news for the Ravens. If the Ravens would have just beat the Browns, Thursday might not have even mattered. But it really stinks. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Game, that stuff happens. Bengals really need it now Thursday night because
don't look now. But if they lose, their season might be over because their schedule is rough.
It is.
They get Pittsburgh twice. They get Cleveland. They get Kansas City, and then the only easy game is like the Colts, and that's not a gimme. Yeah, I still think they make the playoffs.
I do too,
even if they lose.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm just saying. Doesn't look
that making the playoffs is more about, like you said, the Browns and then the Bills and like the Chargers not grabbing hold of that other playoff spot to me. Yeah. But good for the Texans. Yeah. We talked about it last week. Like in terms of rebuilds, like they were maybe the least desirable franchise in all of sports. Like 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson was happening, their owner was happening, like all this stuff. And then, like, you look up, and they might make the playoffs this year, and they have their quarterback of the future going into the next few years.
Do you remember last year, the Colts game? Like, it was Matt Ryan's last game, week 18 or something, and they threw a Hail Mary, and they got it. They won, and that's how they won the game. Yep. Or actually, it might have been the Colts who threw a Hail Mary, and they won the game. Anyway, people were bashing the Texans because...
The Texans threw the Hail Mary.
They threw the Hail Mary and won the game, right? And that's how they lost the number one overall pick.
Correct.
And people were bashing them, saying, like, that's so dumb. But it actually worked out in their favor.
It did.
They got C.J. Stroud. And
so they probably would. Bryce, they would have gone.
I would think, but I don't know for sure.
That's it. I also think, like, Bryce Young's getting a lot of hate, and he should, because he's been bad. Yeah. But also, I think there's, like, Jared Goff was horrible his first year. I remember thinking Jared Goff was going to be one of the worst quarterbacks I'd ever seen. So he can still definitely turn it around.
I think the good news for Bryce is they're not going to move on from him. Like, there's been some quarterbacks in the past, like Drew Rosen. That's not his first name. Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen. Where, like, they get moved on from, like, after, like, 10 games. Like, that's not going to happen to Bryce. So he's going to have next year.
Right.
And they'll be able to formulate a little bit of a better team around him, you would think. So I think he will be fine in the long term, but I think we said it last week. Carolina fans have to just hate Sundays. Like, watching CJ Stroud ball and then just watching your guy not be able to complete passes must be miserable. But I don't know. I think it'll get better. But, The other rookie quarterback that I had written down was that Will Levis, kind of back down to earth this week. They kind of got blown out by the Bucs, who hadn't looked very good. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. I'm glad they're just playing him. It makes way more sense this way. So hopefully, I don't know. I kind of root for him. He kind of got screwed in the draft process.
Yep.
Even though he puts mayonnaise in his coffee, which is weird.
He's essentially a first-round pick. He was the first pick of the second round. So they might have him for a while. But they're probably leaning into the rebuild, which is kind of sad. But, I mean, it's not sad. I don't like the Titans.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for guys like Hopkins. They got a lot of aging vets on that team.
Well, Hopkins should have never went there.
Yeah. Well, he thought his market would be stronger, but instead the Patriots and Titans decided.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they should. Whatever. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Trade again. Whatever. It's
Right.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. Kyler's back.
Yeah.
He actually looked pretty good.
Doesn't look bad.
Didn't look bad. Was moving around quite good.
He ran. He looks quick.
Yeah.
Dude, I've said it. He's pretty good. And I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think it's fair to say they're probably not gonna get the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. No.
And I think them keeping Kyler Murray would be the craziest thing, honestly. But I think they should. I think that's what they should do.
He is better than most. He's Dak Prescott, different skill set, but he's better than most. But he's probably not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Right.
So you're in a very tough position, but you kind of just got to hope things line up one year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you get a good defense around him and you get a running game, I think he could be all right. You know, but I don't know. It's like, you're right though. It's like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, that tier of guys where it's like Jared Goff. Like they're good, but they're not like amazing.
Jared Goff has a ring.
Does he?
No.
Yeah. He got shipped away.
Oh.
He got shipped from Matt Stafford. Is Matt Stafford even that much better than Jared Goff? That looks like another not too good trade.
They won a Super Bowl because of Matt Stafford instead of Jared Goff. So
I guess.
Like, Goff looks good now.
Yeah.
And, like, Stafford's obviously hurt now and, like, all this other, like, doesn't look quite as good. But that year, like, Stafford was throwing the ball.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
He made Cooper Kupp what he was that year and all that kind of stuff. So
I guess it's a pretty mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
Because they got a ring out of it. So.
You sell your soul for a ring.
You did.
Which is,
and
hey, come back 6 years later. Like, you win your ring.
Yeah,
rebuild,
fine.
come back 6 or 7 years later.
That's true.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
I can't believe what Josh Dobbs is doing.
Yeah, man.
It was awesome.
They looked like they were going to choke that game away, but
yeah, Jameis,
for them to come out, your boy Ben, your boy,
he's so funny.
He is hilarious.
Did you see his touchdown throw?
Oh my God, yes.
Dude, that was sideline to sideline.
Nobody else makes that. No one else throws that.
No,
that's why we need Jameis in the league.
His first.
I had that guy to score a touchdown, by the way.
Oh,
A.T.
no
Perry. Wow, dude.
He was balling.
Plus 2,000.
Well, because someone got hurt.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas left.
I saw him first drive getting past. I'm like, what's his odds? Anytime, plus 2,000.
That was
nice.
I wish it wasn't at the expense for my other guy, Derek Carr, but Jameis needs to be starting football game because it is so funny.
It is. His first pick was hilarious. That was awesome.
I thought he was going to come back.
It looked like he was. It was the most Jameis moment.
Yep.
And he did it in a quarter and a half.
If it was game one of the regular season, he'd be on pace for another 30-30 season. 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, man.
That's awesome.
He is so funny. But Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, man.
Insane.
I think he's the new Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
He's going to be that.
But better. Like he's winning games.
Probably. Yeah. Well, he can run. The mobility is huge.
Yeah.
That's what really like made Deshaun Watson's performance like really good. I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Plenty of times he was escaping out of the pocket and stuff. But Dobbs, wow.
Yeah.
That was crazy. It was good. And the Saints have a good defense. I really didn't expect them to, 24 points in the first half? I did not expect that.
I was expecting the Saints to win, to be honest. I thought that
they'd come down to earth.
Yeah, that would be like a 1 week thing.
Mm-hmm.
But good for them. Like the Vikings are very likely to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
At this point.
They've won 5 straight.
Yeah.
They were 1-4. And I asked put a fork in them.
Yeah.
I was like, are we putting a fork in them? No, not yet.
And they're going to get Jefferson back. Yep. You would think that only helps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm with you. They're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And they could give the Lions a run in that division.
I think so, too. Because they play them twice.
Yeah.
I think
they're
so,
only,
too.
1 game behind? Which is insane.
Yeah.
The Lions had a great start to the season.
Yeah. It's crazy. I can't believe, the Browns traded him 2 weeks before the season started.
So dumb. I saw something. What was it? I think it was the Jags backup quarterbacks at one point were Josh Dobbs, Nick Foles, and Gardner Minshew.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That might be the best backup quarterback.
Those weren't backups. That was just their QB roster. That was Nick Foles starting when they
got him.
Yeah. I played Nick Foles that first week of the season against the Chiefs in DraftKings because I was like, he's gonna have to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. He got hurt in the first quarter.
That was one of the dumbest contracts I've ever seen.
Sounds like the old Michigan State quarterback room when it was like Kirk Cousins and God, I can't remember who else it was.
Oh
there.
yeah, they had
Connor Cook.
No. No. Connor Cook was the man.
I did like Connor Cook.
It's a great pool.
Do you remember Jimmy Clausen? He went to Michigan State, right?
I thought he went to Notre Dame.
He might be right. Let me look it up. I trust you.
It
does sound like a Notre Dame name.
I have him affiliated with Notre Dame. Okay.
You nailed it.
Look up that Michigan State quarterback room with Kirk Cousins. Who else was
there? Was a lot, yeah. I know what you're talking about. There's like 3 guys. Yeah, there's 3 more.
Like 2011?
Just look up like Kirk Cousins Michigan State quarterback room or something. It'll come up probably. Did he catch that? Did he not push off?
That was terrible camera work.
It looked like he shoved him to the ground.
I thought it got fixed.
I don't know. Kind of feel bad for Josh Dobbs, He's like moving around all the time.
Like that part definitely sucks. But if you're a guy like that, your dream is definitely to like start games. So you do whatever it takes.
Yeah. Because I know he has like a TikTok, and I think in the beginning of the season, he's like, yeah, like guys like me, like you only pack like a suitcase. And everything else is just like rental. So
that's got to be a weird life.
Yeah. I mean, he knows he's bound to get traded again.
Yeah.
So.
But some team's going to pay him to be a backup. Like now at this point, he'll be like a sought after guy to be a backup quarterback.
So he doesn't have a contract with like anyone? He's just getting like paid.
I mean, he has a contract with the Vikings, but I doubt it. I imagine
probably like a 1
year.
Yeah. 1 year
rental. Because when players get traded, like they negotiate like who's going to pick up how much of their salary or whatever. But usually the salary or their deal and length just transfers over.
Yeah. So I'd imagine it's just a 1 year thing.
Yeah. Fellas, I'm not finding this.
Oh.
Was it Michigan State?
Yes, because that's where Kirk was.
2008, maybe.
I used to know like everyone that was there.
Brian Hoyer. Charlie Snow. Whoever that is. Kirk Cousins.
Charlie Snow. Didn't he make the NFL at one point? No?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it.
Never mind.
It sounds like there is a Snow somewhere in NFL history.
What year was that?
This is 2008.
There was another
Cousins
guy.
was a freshman, and this is all I'm seeing. Brian Hoyer is the only relevant quarterback I'm seeing.
Oh, no, never mind.
I'll find it later.
Okay, 10-4.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, we talked about the Chargers a little bit. That was the most obvious 3-point loss in the history of the NFL.
Yeah. I don't know. I came away feeling a little better about the Chargers.
Their defense is miserable.
It's true, but their offense actually showed up. a game that they needed to.
Do you know that they have the second most dollars invested in their defense?
Yes.
Did you know that Brandon Staley is a defensive coach?
I did know that. Yes.
Hmm.
That was a home game for them too, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there was more Lions fans though.
Yeah. But Herbert played well.
Yeah.
He'd been giving them a lot of shit, and Keenan Allen was
Keenan
knocked out of the
Allen
game
looked-
too, right? Wasn't he?
I
thought he
don't
was.
think so.
No?
He got hurt and came back.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that's what the Chargers can do, but like,
Yeah.
it's not great. I came away more like thinking the Lions are probably not not that team.
Yeah, they're not.
Their offense is awesome. It's very fun to
Mhm.
watch, but again, that's in a dome. You know, maybe in December outside somewhere it won't go as well, and their defense is not good.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about them. Like I agree with you. I think the Vikings have a real shot to catch them.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
It
down
will
the
be.
stretch, but
Yeah,
I
the
mean, good for the
Chargers-
Lions.
Yeah, I mean, they won. You know, I don't know.
I'm not going to take their happiness away.
Yeah.
Like they deserve it.
They deserve it.
They deserve. Like I hope they win the division.
I mean, their schedule's super easy. So
Yeah.
them getting 12 wins should be doable, but
Mhm.
they are the Lions. So I don't want to get too excited about it.
Yeah.
man.
But
Yeah,
playoffs,
but Chargers
playoffs in
gonna
Detroit would be fun. But
That
I
would be fun.
think the Chargers are not making the playoffs.
Do you feel better about the Broncos than you do the Chargers?
From a macro scale, no. From a micro, like the Chargers have to play the Broncos in a couple weeks. Yes. Like I'd be like, the Broncos might win that game.
Yeah.
But like when I look at their teams, I'm like, the Chargers definitely a better team.
Right.
It's just they don't play like it.
Yeah.
So,
And by the way, the Raiders aren't out of it either.
dude, how are they 5 and 5?
I hate them. They're
How
so
are-
bad. I hate them.
Why do you hate them? Why do you hate them?
I hate them because they're the rate. Okay, here's the thing with the Raiders. They're kind of like the Chargers, where they're way more flashier, and people are so like excited about like their culture and their history that they've always had. They haven't done anything in 20 years, you know.
At least they have lived.
They're trying.
Like,
And for some reason, people want to come and play there. Like I don't understand. Like I don't get it. Why did Devontae Adams want to go there? You
well,
know?
look, all right, that was a college quarterback that was there. They traded him out or let him go, whatever. We say it every podcast. We're like, fine, let's go to Vegas.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you want to go play for Vegas? The stadium seems awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Oakland was like rough, and it was like the blue collar area of
Yeah.
California. So I got the appeal there. I liked him better in Oakland, to be totally honest.
For sure. For sure.
I just don't understand. I just don't get it. They've been the worst team in that division by far past 20 years.
Aiden O'Connell. Quarterback of the future.
Maybe. I mean, if he keeps winning games.
I mean,
But that's the thing. They have talent. They have talent. Like we talked about earlier when I was crapping on them as being the worst team in the AFC. They have a ton of talent, so it's hard to like totally lose games. But I thought the Jets were going to win that game.
how bad is Zach Wilson?
Dude, he's so bad. I saw something that he would be the first. If things keep going at the rate they are, he'd be the first quarterback in history to have the worst pass rating in the NFL for the third straight year. So he had the worst passer rating in 2020. He had 2021, and then the worst passer rating last year. And this year he's on pace to do it again. And that would never be close because most teams don't keep a quarterback with that bad of a rating on their roster.
That's awesome.
I cannot believe that he's their quarterback. I just can't. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel so bad for some of those guys.
Yeah,
Like
you're-
at least the Browns are like, no, okay, PJ Walker, you're taking a seat. You know, like how did the Jets go in thinking this was a good backup plan? Like I feel like when you're building a team, you're like, okay, if our guy goes down and this has to be the guy week one for on, we'll be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
That's how you should be building your team.
It is interesting that some teams don't value the backup quarterback position, but others do. Which I think teams are going to start doing it more because of all the injuries that have happened this year. Like you would think.
Yeah, you.
But then again, we look around the league and there's not even 32 good starters.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's
hard
fair.
to find a good
Yeah.
backup, I would guess.
That's fair. But like I look at like last year when Lamar went down, like we had Huntley, and I was like super like he played terrible at some times.
Yeah.
I was super grateful that we had Huntley.
Pro Bowl quarterback.
I mean,
Right.
he's
That's right.
he is serviceable. Like he
Yeah.
extends the play with his legs. You know, he's a one read guy,
One read quarterback.
but he can. You know, I don't know. Like he's so much better than guys like Zach Wilson
yeah, agreed.
and PJ Walker. So I just don't get how teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like every week we're going to come on this show and just crap all over Zach Wilson, and he 100% deserves it.
Yeah.
And that coaching staff deserves all blame for letting it continue to happen.
And whoever decided to draft him at 2 is insane.
That was also dumb. Everyone knew that was bad too. I don't know.
He made that cool throw though.
He did that one throw, that one awesome pro day that everyone keeps saying he had.
I will all right, to give him a little credit, the Hail Mary was the pro day throw.
Yeah,
like the Hail Mary was escaping the pocket, getting out of there, and making a crazy throw that almost got completed.
Did you see Conklin knocked it out of his
hands?
hands? Yeah. Garrett Wilson was grabbing that.
I think, yeah, which would have been wild.
That would have been crazy.
But
I'm glad it didn't happen.
I am too.
Because like that, what was it? The Chiefs game, I think? Which game was it? He played super average, and then everyone was like, "Oh, look, Zach Wilson's he's being serviceable." It's like he's terrible.
He is terrible.
He's so bad.
So bad.
I hate him. Oh, it was the Giants game. He made that crazy last minute
the 2 plays in 20 seconds. Yeah.
All right, I want to bring something up real quick. What happens if the Jets took Trey Lance instead?
He's bad too.
I do you think things could have been different? Probably not. 'Cause San Francisco's perfect too.
That you would think San Francisco's a much better situation.
It's just like they weren't going to win either way, unless they reached for who's Daniel Jones? Was he next? Who's 2021?
2021 was Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and then Trey Lance, right?
Yeah.
I thought Trey Lance was
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Yeah, Trey Lance was 2020.
No.
Third. He was third.
When did Fields go?
Fields went 10. Or 11.
11. And then Mac Jones went 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have at least...
They weren't winning.
I think you could have at least kept your job if you drafted Justin Fields.
Kyle Pitts? Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's okay.
Penei Sewell.
People wreck the Niners for going and getting Trey Lance, which is fair. But the Jets should just get just as much blame for picking Zach Wilson.
The issue with the Niners is they traded 3 first-round picks,
right,
to go get Trey Lance.
But they're trying to upgrade their. I don't know. I saw what they were doing. It's just I don't know if Trey Lance is terrible or their quarterback development is awful or he just got unlucky with injuries. Whereas Zach Wilson is a bad football player. We know that.
Fair. Fair. Trey Lance seems like a bad football player.
He does. I mean, he's got to be if they're playing Purdy over him after 1 year, And the thing about that draft, there's so many good players after those quarterbacks. Picks. So it's like
maybe it's more of an indictment on non-Power 5 quarterbacks because both those guys, BYU and North Dakota State, maybe you shouldn't take them in the top 5.
Isn't Carson Wentz doing something?
He got signed by the Rams.
By the Rams.
Say who, because you can't hear me.
Oh, Carson Wentz. Yeah. Sorry. Carson Wentz did get signed by the Rams. Apparently, he called the Jets twice. And they were like, "Nah, we're good."
That's pretty
Zach Wilson. It is
desperate.
Yeah.
But I would have done it. I would have signed Carson Wentz.
He's no.
Oh, come on.
He's all right. He's probably better than Zach Wilson.
He is definitely Zach.
But it is so much worse. It is just so much worse.
But he can throw for 250 yards confidently.
He's bad, man.
He's not good. I agree.
Really,
he does not read a defense well at all.
He was good, but injuries and stuff happened. He's tried. It was last year in Washington, and he was horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm in on Sam Howell, by the way. I don't know if I've said it publicly, but Sam Howell seems
legit.
At least very fun.
Good. I think he's good.
Yeah.
At least above average quarterback, which they can.
That's a pretty good game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have good weapons. I don't really know why they sold their defensive line. I thought they had some pretty decent pieces.
I just don't think they were going to sign them. I just think they were like,
both of them? You could have gotten one.
Probably. Right? But they got good value for them.
Mm-hmm.
Rebuilt, totally rebuild it. Like we said, Ron Rivera is so getting fired. So, they're going to rebuild everything. Yeah. And they know it's going to take a little while. So, might as well get what you can.
Yeah.
Build a team that way. Let Sam Howell keep learning. It's very interesting that, I thought Jahan Dotson was going to take a huge step forward, and he has not been doing anything.
He does not look great.
Goose egg.
Yeah, he does that often. Kind of a lot. Curtis Samuel's still pretty good, so at least they have that. But is Tommy DeVito starting again?
Yes.
Yep.
We're still doing that?
Yeah. Where's Tyrod?
I don't.
I'll look it up.
If you're the Giants, doesn't it make way more sense to just keep playing Tommy DeVito?
Yes.
You could get the first pick.
We talked about it last week. They are the dark horse to get the number one overall pick. They might not win another game. Their schedule is so rough, and they are so bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm totally with you. I think they should play Tommy DeVito, and because at this rate they will. I mean, I think the Panthers are going to try.
Yeah, absolutely. We're punting from. Oh, we faked
Go, Andrew was like, dude, yes, we needed that so bad, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Don't look now.
We got
We need a touchdown.
Yeah,
We do.
We need 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Do they keep Dable?
I think so. I think he took a very bad team to the playoffs last year, so you can't be that mad when you ran back that same bad roster, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, I think he deserves a shot to see what happens.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think it's going to be rough for them on offense for a long time.
Yeah.
Because even before they didn't have quarterback problems, their receivers were terrible. That was like their one thing holding them back.
Yeah, Paris Campbell was like their best receiver some days.
Yeah. So,
I guess even if they don't get one, they can still draft Drake May at 2.
Yeah.
As long as they get a top 2 pick, but I don't know. You're right. They could benefit from Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Oh god. Because Daniel Jones is still on the books.
Yeah, and I think they did say that they're planning to stick with him, but
that hurt my heart.
I guess if you don't get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, what else are you going to do, though?
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
it's rough to be a New York football fan.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cowboys just love beating bad teams, but they have a big stretch here of not very good teams, and then the back on their schedule is pretty tough. But
I will say though, the word's out about the Cowboys. I think people like the expectations are not there for them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're Super Bowl. Like people, I think people are totally off that. Like they are complete fakers until proven otherwise.
I don't know. People just don't realize sometimes the competition they don't take into account. So they're going to beat the Panthers this week. Then they're going to play on Thanksgiving in front of everybody. Probably beat the Commanders. And Dax looked really good against these bad teams.
Yeah.
And
Maybe Dax got it.
Exactly. Dak MVP, all that kind of stuff's going to start. Oh, I did want to ask. CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year. Does he have an MVP case at this point?
By the way, I think MVP is the most overrated award.
Yes.
In the NFL, totally. But yeah, I mean, sure. I think they'd have to win out.
Yeah.
But
if they win out and go 13-4,
that's my issue. Is it becomes a team award. And actually, I forgot to mention in the Heisman, I took Jaden Daniels to win the Heisman. He is by far the best college football player this year. He needs to win the Heisman. It's going to be Bo Nix or Michael Penix. That's pretty much, if they play in the championship, it's pretty much going to be like a who wins the Heisman game.
Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels has been so fun, and their defense is just so bad that they can't win enough games. But Lamar won it with 3 losses. Jaden Daniels is having a pretty incredible year, and so I'm relating that to CJ Stroud because they're probably going to lose 6 or 7 games, but his numbers are crazy.
Yeah, it's just they should do it that way. I feel like. Because that would also bring in play for guys like T.J. Watt to maybe win MVP or something, and that'd be cool. I think.
Yeah.
But it almost always goes to the best player on the best team.
I know.
And
yeah, I was gonna ask, how is that measured? How are you?
It's just old voters that are just you know.
Well, they got the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And they won this many games.
So probably not C.J. Stroud.
No, probably not.
Right.
Probably not. CJ Stroud.
He'd literally have to win every game.
Probably.
And then they have to get a 2 or 3 seed or something.
Yeah.
But I do think it's probably not a Mahomes year at this point. I mean, you could, but
I mean,
I don't think Jalen Hurts.
No,
it was Lamar for a while. It looked like Lamar Jackson was.
It could. I mean,
still could.
It could. He probably has him, Tua, and Dak all have the easiest paths because I think they're on the fringe right now, and then they have 3 good games, and they'll be right back up there. And I don't know, MVP always gets decided by week 13 anyway. It's just
that's true.
This guy's the MVP. Doesn't matter. The rest of the season, whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. CJ Stroud's been really good.
He has been really good.
But anyway. I've buried the lead long enough. I'm looking at I'm trying to do anything else but talk about the Bills. but it might be
Screw the Bills.
it might be time to talk about the Bills. They did fire Ken Dorsey.
Woo!
Yeah.
I don't know that he was necessarily. Oh, did he fumble that ball? No. Okay.
He's good.
All right. I don't know that he was super the problem, but I was. Obviously, they lost Survivor for us.
Boo!
So we have a tainted view of the Bills at the moment. But I was sitting there getting so frustrated with the play calling that I am so on board with the Ken Dorsey firing.
Mhm.
Troy Aikman, I wanted to punch through the TV because after the last touchdown drive the Bills go on, where Josh Allen didn't throw the ball, by the way, Troy Aikman's like, Ken Dorsey's great job adjusting, their MO is to throw the ball, and he came out in this last drive. I was like, you should have been doing it for 3 effing quarters.
Yeah.
Like the only other drive you scored on was because you ran the football. And I understand, right? Pass on first down. It's more efficient. All this stuff. You have to understand the Broncos have like the worst rush defense in the entire league. And you bench a guy because he fumbles on the first play of the game, and it actively hurts your team, which doesn't seem very efficient. And then you get yourself into 3rd and long because you're not efficient on 1st and 2nd down when you're not running the ball, and you're asking Josh to be a superhero. The first pick is not his fault; it goes right off Gabe Davis's hands. Gabe Davis should make the catch. Gabe Davis is a bad football player. There it is. Sorry, that's it.
Got it.
Oh, there's a flag. Did he rough him? Rough him?
Go that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Please score. Like, they aren't doing anything, man.
They finally run the ball. They score a touchdown. And then Josh tries to hand the ball off and drops it. That leads to a turnover. Then he throws a bad pick. And, like, finally, the last drive, they finally run the ball. James Cook takes a dribble drive down the lane. That was crazy. The ball bounced right back up to him. He probably should have housed it, but didn't. And also, at the end of the game, or at the end of that drive, they were kind of going slow. And I just did not understand. They were never running out the clock. They were only going to be up by less than a field goal no matter what happened. And I did not understand the reasoning to try to run out as much time as you could. I thought, try to score before the 2-minute warning, and maybe you can get the ball back if they go down quick and score.
Right. Which they probably were going to do, considering the state of your defense and how the night had been going, kind of.
Well, the defense actually played well.
They turned around in the second half.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that secondary.
The secondary's bad.
Secondary's bad. It seemed like every time the Bills scored, they immediately gave up a possession.
Special teams was bad too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of big returns. It took this, and this is the reason we talked about it a little bit, but the reason I still defend the Survivor pick, it took a monumental collapse. It took a monumental list of things to happen for the Bills to lose that game. And by the way, they still won the game, but somehow had 12 people on the field when they missed that field goal.
How do you do that?
That was crazy, man. That sucked so
The Broncos are the ones that are rushing. How are you not have your team, hey, you guys, they're going to go kick a field goal. You're going to run on the field. I don't know. That part's coaching. And, like, the Ken Dorsey stuff, maybe he wasn't. That's a touchdown.
Let's go!
Oh!
Ken Dorsey might not have been the problem. I think Sean McDermott is a bad coach at this point.
I think it's fair to say that, yeah.
Because a lot of that's coaching. Turnovers, undisciplinedness, right? Penalties, all that stuff, like, that falls back on the head coach.
Yeah, that's fair. I saw something that said in the past, 4 years, the Bills have literally lost in every way imaginable. Every way that almost was impossible. They lost 13 seconds to the Chiefs in a divisional round.
Coaching, right?
Like, how is that happening?
Right.
I'd never seen anything like that before. They lost with a safety on the 1-yard line, which I'd never seen before. I don't think anyone has ever seen that before. And then they just lost a game where it was like with 12 men on the field with a missed field goal. It's like they've found every way imaginable to lose in recent years. And it always seems like they're not living up to their potential. They're not playing up to their potential. They have multiple dumb losses, oftentimes to the New York Jets, a year, So, and we always said oh, it's Josh. And I do think Josh Allen is kind of a little reckless, and he just turns the ball.
He's a problem. He is a problem.
Yeah, but I think it could also be a symptom of Sean McDermott.
Yes.
He's been the mainstay on this team for a while. So
I think
They've always been numerically a good team, like a top 5
Yeah.
offense and a top 5 defense, and they just haven't done anything, you know? And they do this stuff. Like, I don't know.
I think they miss stable. Like I
Yeah.
think him and Josh Allen worked really well together. But that can't absolve you of everything. You have to be a good quarterback with different guys.
Right.
He turns the ball over way too much.
Mhm.
I still think he's a great quarterback. Like I said, that first interception, not his fault at all. He
Right.
actually made a great throw, a great read to convert a third down. It just goes off Gabe Davis' hands right into a defender. It was maddening. And I don't know how, if you're a Bills fan, well, I don't know how you've lived to this point if you're a Bills fan.
That's true.
But if you're still around, like, I just don't know how you can defend it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if they miss the playoff, like,
Which they will. Their schedule is ridiculous.
their schedule's crazy. I don't think they were. This is supposed to be a gimme,
Mhm.
you know. And they haven't beaten. They beat the Dolphins, but other than that, they haven't beaten any tough opponents. I have no ability to think they're going to beat the Chiefs or Eagles,
Nope.
who they have coming up.
They play the Cowboys too, I think.
So I don't know. It looks rough. Let alone your divisional opponents.
Yeah.
You know. So you get the Bills or the Dolphins one more time. Maybe they show up. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for them, and it's really a shame. Like, his seat is definitely warm. I think he gets a pass for this year, though. If they miss the playoffs,
I
he'll
don't
probably
know.
get a pass. Like,
He got a pass for the Chiefs game.
did.
Because, you won it, but then crazy stuff
'Cause
happened.
for
But
them, that was like the best team they'd had.
yeah,
So
you get a pass last year because a guy died, and then you get blown out in the playoffs, which had nothing to do with
Yeah.
the guy dying, but you get a pass for that. This year, you're not even going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and he said the Ken Dorsey firing was 100% his decision. It seems like
It could be
a
ownership.
desperate thing
yeah.
to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I better fire somebody because otherwise it's my ass on the line.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a better option. Like, you have to win some of these games.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's true, man.
I mean, people are going to start winning out like Diggs. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
his
thought that-
brother is
Yeah.
him doing that is really annoying. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion. 'Cause,
Stephon
like,
Diggs is probably mad at him for doing that,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
was Stephon Diggs' Instagram story real?
I
thought it was fake.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Trayvon Diggs, what he said was real.
Yes.
That really did happen.
Yes, and that's really annoying,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because imagine losing a game if you're Travis Kelce and Jason Kelsey's like, you better get out of there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Stephon Diggs was good in Minnesota, but he wasn't amazing. He's turned into
Yeah,
a
he
top
turned
5
it-
receiver
right.
in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you owe them anything, but like,
Yeah.
you're his brother, like stirring the pot, and he has like, if you're Trayvon, you don't have to live with that. Like, Stephon's got to go in the building the next day,
Yeah.
and he got to talk to Josh the next day, and he's got to talk to McDermott the next day. Like,
Yeah.
that's annoying to me.
That was pretty dumb.
But
Also, he's not that good. I'm gonna say
Trayvon Diggs,
Trayvon Diggs is not that good.
we
He gets burned all the time. He
Yeah.
just gets picks every now and then. So
Yeah.
because everyone's throwing to him all the time because he's burned. Whatever.
No, I don't know where you go if you're the Bills. You're going to miss the playoffs this year. You need to get tougher. You need to get way more fundamentally sound.
Yeah, I mean it's
Um,
it's insane how they've blown
Enough with the weapons. You have Stephon Diggs. You drafted Dalton Kincaid, who looks awesome.
Kincaid looks great.
James Cook is good, but
I do think that the weapons thing does have a little bit of merit.
No.
Does have a little bit of merit.
it doesn't.
Like they signed Latavius Murray and like Leonard Fournette.
I-
I don't think James Cook is that great.
I think he's good.
I think he's like, I don't know if he's not built like a running back or anything, but there's a reason they're not giving him they're not feeding it. They should be, if he's
Yeah.
really that good. You know,
Yeah.
Gabe Davis is terrible.
Gabe Davis is terrible.
Khalil Shakir, I mean, we don't know. I guess. Who's the other guy? They have
Deontay Hardy.
Deontay Hardy, but they also have who's that other guy? He was in Miami last year. I actually don't mind him.
Breck.
Oh, Barrios?
No, not Barrios.
No, he's there this year.
He was Miami's third receiver last
year.
year. Sherfield,
Yeah,
Trent
yeah.
Sherfield. But, yeah, I mean, like all these other teams, like the Eagles, the Chiefs get away with it because they have Andy Reid. But
no other like you mentioned the Eagles. Okay, they have 2 great receivers plus decent running back, good tight end. Where else can you point to? I guess San Francisco, where
San
you're
Fran, like the Ravens have tried to do it.
yeah,
The Cowboys have
And-
tried. They had Cooper and CD, and then they had to let CD go.
and Noah Brown.
They did have Noah Brown.
Noah Brown's been awesome
Yeah.
the last couple weeks. And look, this is totally me coming as a Ravens fan, a Lamar fan. but I am so tired of no one caring about the Ravens' weapons, and it's all Lamar's fault every time they lose. And then as soon as the Bills lose or the Bengals lose, it's the weapons' fault, and it's the team better. The team better do better for them because they're awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm tired of that. Like Josh Allen just has to be better.
No, I mean that's fair. Like I'm saying it's definitely Allen first.
Yeah.
But unlike a Burrow or a Lamar or a Hurts, he doesn't have it's Diggs or nothing for them. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like Gabe Davis being your next guy on the outside is just not going to do it.
I understand.
Kincaid looks great.
Yeah.
And Knox, I think Dawson Knox, I think he's out for the year now. But he looked okay.
Yeah.
He was good when he stepped up.
It was kind of an interesting way to build.
The funniest meme is the Homer Simpson one that I've never seen. I know you've seen that. With the shades, the color shades.
Oh.
And it's like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Well, for Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson. That's the best meme. Because it's right. It's super right.
Yeah.
It happens to Lamar all the time.
I mean, it happened this. Joe Burrow threw an awful interception.
Yeah.
And
well, he's
and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But Lamar is the problem, even though the Ravens scored 31 points, and Lamar wasn't good Sunday, so I'm not absolving him.
Exactly.
But it's just annoying when it's the narrative every single time they lose. The Ravens are 7-3.
Yeah.
We're really doing this every time they lose a football game. Shout out Dan Orlovsky for the only guy in media having his back. Orlovsky, go listen to Orlovsky because he says a lot of the same. He goes on a 2-minute rant. Just like last week, we were saying that Lamar's the MVP. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So.
Also, that ball was batted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the first interception was bad.
First interception was bad. I mean, he did not, like you said, he didn't play well. But
Yeah.
that second pick the ball was batted,
and it's a divisional opponent. Things happen.
I'm just tired of us turning the ball over
I
in
agree.
moments like that.
I agree. Totally agree. But if you're the Bills, Josh Allen's turned the ball over an incredible amount of times this year.
Has. He's having his worst career season, probably.
Yeah.
Well, his rookie year.
But they made the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
Because I remember that play in the playoffs against Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was in the air and threw the ball backwards. He still hasn't stopped doing that. Yeah. It's crazy. Credit the Broncos. They're playing better.
Credit the Broncos. They are playing better. Their
Sean
defense
Payton seems maybe he's a good coach,
Maybe. We were crapping on him.
We were.
I don't know. I still think it's a little fluky.
Yeah.
Wilson doesn't look. He's been on his numbers look pretty good, but
he's moving around a lot better.
Yes,
which helps us so much for his game.
But it doesn't. He doesn't look amazing. But he's got a great passer rating. He's 5 in passer rating.
He's doing what they need him to, but he's not really doing much more than that, in my opinion. So, no, he looks good. Javonte looks pretty good. Cortland Sutton looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I was wrong about him. Wrong about Cortland Sutton.
Their run defense is terrible, but they have a good secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Surtain is very good. So. Yeah. Credit to them. We'll see. I mean, they're going to be a little feisty, but they're still not. I agree. I don't think Russell Wilson's been amazing. So we get Bengals at Ravens Thursday night. Get Steelers at Browns on Sunday. We get Eagles Chiefs Monday night. Like we said, Broncos Vikings on that Sunday night football game. So some decent looks at the slate this week. Some very important games. Ravens Bengals very important for the AFC North.
Yeah.
Thursday night football should be abolished. This game being on a Thursday night is ridiculous.
That's true.
So whatever. There's whatever. But yeah, I guess you said you still have some Survivor teams available. So
I don't want to do that to you guys.
Okay.
Nobody cares. It's over. Man, I'm upset.
Who are you taking this week?
I think I'm taking the Washington Commanders.
I think it's the right call.
They're playing the Giants at home.
I think it's the right call.
This week, I actually think if you are alive, it'll probably be a chaos. Honestly,
could be.
There's a lot. There's a ton of options.
Yeah,
but not all of them can win. The grid likes the Bills this week. They're the fourth best team. Jets at home.
Jets kill.
They win. Yeah.
Oh, they'll definitely. They probably will.
The Bills. They blow them out. 45-14. I would be livid. I'm really upset. I thought we had it.
If the Bills just would have not had 12 men on the field, we would have just escaped, and we would have been set up so well.
Yeah.
And that was the whole rationale. So it's okay. We made it a long way. It happens. The Bills should have won.
Are there any lessons from this year's Survivor? So when me and Andrew were doing season last year, we picked the Bears. That's how we lost. We picked the Bears to beat the Lions at home. And what we learned was the Bears were a bottom 5 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Don't pick bottom 5 teams in the NFL to win. Do you have lessons this year?
I don't know. Because, like, the easy lesson would be, say, not pass up a free square when it comes to you. But I don't think that's right. I genuinely think it was just a bad situation where the other two, like the Bengals lost, which was like 22% of people, and the Bills lost. So it looks like very bad. Like you feel dumber knowing that the Cowboys were locked in, surefire, no matter what.
That's true.
But when you look at the rest of the season, I think it puts you in a very tough spot.
Yeah.
So I actually think we did the right thing.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, we're gonna have to take our shot eventually. I'd much rather do it with an 8-point favorite at home. I think the first few weeks are tough because you don't know who's good and who's bad.
Yeah, that definitely makes it tough.
Once you get through that, I think we did as best as we could with the information we had. It just got caught. Like maybe we should have factored in coming off a bye a little bit more.
Maybe
that was the only thing I looked at where I said to myself, I really care about that stuff.
Yeah,
and like I mentioned it, but I didn't really like care. But like when I look at like spreads and gambling and stuff like that, that's what I really look at, like rest advantages and travel and all that kind of stuff. So like maybe we should look at that a little bit more. But like I said, so much had to go wrong for the Bills to lose that game.
That's right.
We maybe also don't bet on cold teams going against a hot team.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So
yeah, that's fair.
I think this year what we did is we forced a lot of teams into spots because there was no other. It was the best opportunity to use them. We did that a lot. We did it with the Ravens against the Cardinals, and that worked out. We did it with the Seahawks against the Cardinals. That worked out. We did it with the Giants against the Cardinals, and we were this close to getting out in week 2.
Yeah.
And then Washington, we did it with them in week 1.
Yeah.
This year, and it sucks, and I feel hypocritical saying that because I'm usually the proponent of that. Like I'm big on future value. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with taking like Washington, having like a flip Washington kind of thing. But I feel like a lot of times that's like almost half the games this year where we were like, oh, it's just such a good week to use them. You're not going to use them. And I think that's how you get burned, right? So with the Bills, we kind of did that too. Like we didn't like the Bills. When we talked about it on the podcast, we were like, I mean, they kind of suck, but you're not going to use them again. You know, it wasn't like they're playing good football. We should pick them. We think they're going to win.
No,
I don't think anyone liked
against the hot team. That's more because the Broncos were winning on a 2-game win streak, right?
And coming off a bye.
But they're
Hall of Fame quarterback. We should have factored in Russell Wilson a little bit.
Is he?
Might be.
I think he might be.
I don't think so.
But like, would we have pivoted?
Like,
No.
I think
like
I still think it's
exactly like all this information we're getting. Like Ben's like
we all voted
coming off
for
a
the
bye
Bills.
week.
Yeah,
Like,
we all took the Bills.
would we still have like
I actually like. I didn't factor future value in all that much. Like
I mean,
more
we
for the
mapped it.
Right.
Right.
It was
The Cowboys was all future value.
Yes.
We're all like we can use them later. We're not
Yes.
picking them. And I feel like we did that a lot. Like the Giants, like I know they won that game, but that was a bad pick. That was not a good pick. They were a bad team.
Oh yeah.
And we forced them in because they're playing a bad team. You're never going to use them.
If you want my real lesson, is to stop playing road teams. I know it worked twice. Well, but like seriously, like the Giants at the Cardinals and the Ravens at the Cardinals were both very sweaty.
Yeah.
Giants should have lost. The Ravens definitely should have won. But like, you stop the road. Like the home team matters, and I know the Bills just lost at home, and that's how we lost. But like,
but like you said, it was a lot. It had to happen.
You're saying a lot of nothing, dog. I don't know.
just saying. In week 2, we took the Giants on the road across the country.
We should have lost.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
we
should
should
have
have
lost.
that one. That's my thing. And it's weird for me to say that because I'm usually the other way around. I'm like, what do you mean? You're never going to use them.
Yeah.
You should use them. And it works out so well when it happens.
Yeah.
But also, does it? Did we really gain so much? Well, we did. Okay, we did.
We did.
We did.
We made it, yeah.
We gained a ton.
But
it's risky.
to your point, and I tried to say this earlier in the season, but it was really my first time doing Survivor, so like I didn't know exactly what the best strategy was. But to your point, spots pop up. Like you have,
right.
You not
Right.
like you said, this is a rebuy like week 3, so you have Washington this week.
Yes.
Like we thought we would never use Washington. It's the best spot week 1,
Right.
and it was.
Mhm.
But now they have this spot against Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, and it's like you're definitely going to
Where,
use
like-
them. And that's something earlier in the season I discredit when we talked about this on this podcast. I was like, yeah, well, spots out. Like I just missed that argument.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but you can't count on it, so whatever. But you're totally right. I mean, this week Washington's going to be the most popular team. Probably gets time to beat them. So you're definitely right there.
So yeah,
I thought we could have been a little more present. Like I just thought, which is weird for me to say because again, I mean, I'm not like that usually. But then again, we also made a pretty calculated decision.
It's weird. Like I agree on the early games where we won, but like I don't agree in the week in the scenario that we lost in, if that makes any sense.
That's fair.
I think I said the Raiders last week.
Wang is what's the Bears,
and I did say and the Broncos.
Wang's like 4-0 on his wild card picks.
Also, I think we'll definitely do another group one, but
that was fun.
Someone goes home upset, no matter what, which sucks. Because
dude, I mean, look, week 4. I advocated for the Jags. And it's a good thing we didn't do that. So no, that's definitely right.
So like,
like Dak wanted us to pick the Cowboys the week they played the Cardinals.
Yeah,
that would have hurt.
Like
we all have picks like that. Mike wanted the Bengals this week.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So like, when you lose, like you were never like everyone's not really 100% on the pick.
That's true.
So like that sucks for who like you get so mad. I feel like when like they don't, if you don't have the pick that you won, then it loses, and that's like you guys are idiots. Like, so like the group one's very fun, but like it had a chance to go sour if something like that would have happened. Like I think you were the one that was biggest off the Bills this week.
Yeah, I was, but I still voted for them.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so hard to like criticize the pick. It's like, well, I picked them.
Yeah,
you know, like I liked them. I liked the logic behind it.
Yeah.
So fair. But you're right though. There was definitely times I felt like that, and I feel like everyone felt like that.
That's
the biggest week was Chargers Ravens. The Chargers. It didn't matter. They both won, and that's the best feeling. You know? So it was fun though. I still had fun doing it.
Yeah, I did.
It sucks that it came to an end. I will win one of these Survivor Leagues. I'm going to do it.
My second chance was the Bills this week, so I'm out for this year. But next year, my year. My year. All right. Let's do some best bets. I totally forgot to get one. So if you have one, I'm going to look right now. Luckily, it's a Ravens game, so I should know enough about it to go make a bet.
So first of all, rest in peace. I used to be good at this. Now I stink. Last week really hurt because there were like a lot of drop passes. I think I counted 3.
And he got half. He fell a half short, right?
He fell a half short, yes. The line was 21.5, and I think he had 21. Attempts hit. And I usually go with attempts.
You're straying from your bread and butter.
I know. But here's the problem.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing attempts this week. I'm actually going back to completions. Because I love Lamar Jackson completions. His line is 17.5. He's hit that in 8 games this season. It's a little juiced. It's minus 135. But he got 13 last week. Ew. He got, I think it was 15 week 1 against the Texans. And he had, I can't remember which game it was. I think it was the Cardinals game. He had 18. In every other game, it's been like 21 plus. So he's throwing a career high percentage or completion percentage. The lines are based on him throwing a 64.6% completion percentage. This year it's like 70.7. Like he's going off in completion percentage. So he's in the NFL still. Wow. And he was going into last week too, I think. So yeah, I think he smashes that number. Again, it's a little juiced. Week what was it? 2 we played the Bengals?
Week 3?
I thought week 2 or 3. Whenever they played the Bengals, he got 24.
Yeah.
So he crushed that number. I don't like his attempts because his attempts he's hit 5 out of 10. It's 28.5, I think. And he's just way more volatile with his attempts. But like that math doesn't add up. Having 28.5 attempts versus 17.5, that's like that 64% completion. So I think he hit 17.5. I looked at Burrow's numbers. I like him too, but his is the highest I've ever seen pass attempts, 37.5.
Oh wow.
He should get it. He's done it in like 6 out of 10 games.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to throw the ball. But
so are we.
Exactly. So I think he hits that. That's my play.
All right.
Yeah. Is T. Higgins healthy for this game?
He is out.
He's out. That stinks because he burns the Ravens. I would have definitely taken his line.
So is Andre Ioslovas or whatever his name is. He's also
out. Trenton Irwin?
I'm looking at him.
Andrew?
Wang?
Is it me?
Oh!
Oh.
You can't just throw him on the spot like that.
Why don't you make your pick and then I'll have a side one?
Little sprinkle?
I want Zay Flowers receiving yards.
Looks like it's 52 and a half, I think it is.
I thought it was going to be in the 40s.
What was his receptions?
4 and a half.
We took 3.5.
I'll
He
take
had
last
3.5
week.
last week.
I'll take receiving yards. 50.
You're doing
50.
50 again?
Nice.
Oh, boy.
You have to
juice.
get the ball to him more. What's Bateman? What's his reception?
1.5.
2.5.
2.5 now.
They learned.
They learned.
Yeah, his 1.5 was free money
Yeah.
every week. And I'm looking at him again because, he's actually one of the top receivers in the league in getting separation.
Really?
Yeah.
If you do the same game parlay, what's 2? What's the
2 plus?
Oh, like,
What's the number you get with 2?
let me see. I'll effort. Maybe if I knew how to use DraftKings.
Did Irv Smith do anything last week?
He
Tanner Hudson.
sucks. Yeah, Tanner Hudson's
Hudson.
actually the guy.
He's. You're not wrong.
He's definitely scoring now, but
Yeah. Mixon doesn't usually play that great against us.
no.
He gets receptions.
I'm gonna be bold. I'll get to your Rashad Bateman in a minute. I'm just gonna take a Gus Edwards touchdown.
Ooh.
Touchdown score, baby. It's minus 105.
Oh wow.
That's all right.
He gets in the end zone.
He's our red zone back.
Yeah, that's all he does. 5 yards and in, he gets the ball.
All right.
I'm looking for the Bateman number if Wang wants to.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go Keaton Mitchell side touchdown anytime, but
Sprinkle on.
but I might pivot to Mark because he didn't score last week and we needed him to score last.
We needed him so bad.
And so he's definitely going to score this week. So
Yeah, he is.
I can't get 2+ in the same game parlay.
Okay.
So
That's
it on that. So
So
Mark to
that's-
score
that's the side, not
Uh,
in the 3.
might be maybe a big old parlay and the Keaton touchdown and okay, Lamar completions.
Real talk. If you do that, that's like a plus 10,000 parlay.
I'm gonna use one of my free bets for tomorrow too.
That sounds sweet.
$50.
Yeah, man. Gus touchdown, Zay 50 plus Mark. I did hit that big parlay in that Bengals game, and it was a Gus and Mark Andrews touchdown.
Interesting. Does it happen again?
Might.
Oh wow.
Might. Guys, got anything else? Do you want to yell at the Bills anymore?
I hate the Buffalo
can't.
Bills. I hate Josh Allen. I hate Sean McDermott. Honestly, they are on my crap list. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. I
No.
actually am not rooting for them to be successful. It's that bad. I used to like them so much,
Me too.
but they're just fakers.
We need 6 more points in this action game, so we're gonna ride that out. 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're at midfield. Just get us a touchdown, Miami.
That's good.
Get us a touchdown. Yeah. College basketball feast week starts next week. Everyone enjoy that. Champions Classic was last night. It was actually kind of good. So college basketball is awesome. You should watch it. Feast week is the best. So we'll talk to you next week on the Hook and Batter podcast.